Now we now move to the NBA and the NBA All-Star games getting I think we got voting. Voting is taking off. It's good to vote.
Right.
We just got the results. I think the first initial results are out. A lot of interesting things as that goes. But now NBA Players Association and NBA they're finalizing details on how to make it all work in Atlanta. And now there's looks like some of the top players aren't quite on the same page. We've had some interesting comments from LeBron James have come out. Now we're seeing some other players get behind him. It seems like there's a little bit of a disconnect here, and I guess the issue is should the All Star game be played as the league and the Players Association are maneuvering towards, or should they call the thing off? What's your take on it, Drink?
Well, the way I look at this is, whatever event that you do, what is the event for? Is the event solely for the money? Is the event for the fans? Is the event to further your brand as the NBA? I'm a little confused with all this going on. I understood the move last year to make a bubble and continue the season and have those guys play at Disney World or whatever, and until you got a champion. I understood that. I also understood you had to come back in a very short season, 71 days for the Lakers and the Heat, and then start the season early, and then you knocked off 10 games off the season and made it 72 rather than 82. That I can rationalize. I'm finding it very hard to rationalize the All Star game when you have your top players saying we don't want to do this. We think it's more about money than health, and I think personally, yeah, the players are saying that. I think it's about why do we have to play in this empty arena? And we're gonna act like we're entertaining the fans, but are we really entertaining the fans? We don't want to be there. So now, do you force these $1 million, assets to go out there and play and give you a lackluster performance, or do you do what a lot of major leagues did this year? You just make a roster, you do your little Zoom thing, and you call it a day. I'm a proponent of. I want to see the draft still go down. I want to see LeBron draft against KD, and then they draft their teams. That's very entertaining to me. I want to see that. I don't care to see any All Star Weekend events because it's not going to be the same. It's just not. You don't have the crowd, the ooh, ah. You don't have the guy, Steph Curry, making that very last three in the 3-point competition and people going crazy and, or Aaron Gordon, coming out with something crazy in the dunk contest, and so on and so forth. I'm with the players here. Why? Why make them play this? Make your teams, call it a day, and then give them that week to rest since they're already playing a short season. Give them that week to rest, and then start the season back up whenever you start the season back up. But this is a money grab, and that is what Kawhi said. Kawhi said out of his mouth that he feel like this is more about the money than it is our health. LeBron said he's not feeling it because he has zero energy and zero excitement, which is normal when you're gonna have these guys having a glorified Olympic practice, pretty much. That's what it is. It's not gonna be no excitement for that. It's just not. And so I agree with the players. Now here's the problem with everything that the players are saying. The NBA and the NBA Players Association, which represent you, the players, are finalizing the details of this. So you can say this is bullcrap. You can say all that you want, but you need to be talking to the Players Association because clearly they're saying it's a go. So I don't know, why all this hate and discontent for the most part. The NBA want to make money. That's clear. The NBA players want more rest. That's clear. They're going to have to find out a way to make it happen. But at the end of the day, me, nor you, nor any other average, Joe or whatever you want to call it, we find it very hard to feel sorry for millionaires and billionaires. So I'm sorry, we find it kind of hard to do that. But that was my outlook on it. If you got the players out here kicking and screaming not to do it, have the same energy you had for the resumption of the season last year. Because you remember, a lot of players said they didn't want to do that either. But LeBron and Giannis and Kawhi, the big names, the same ones that saying something about the All-Star game, was the same ones that said, you know what, we're not totally against resuming the season. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and have a season. We could finish the season out. And we had a season. Now you got those same guys saying, no, I'm not really feeling the All-Star game thing this year because of A, B, and C. And it's not like they're just saying it just to say it. They do give reasons why. And they do be legitimate reasons. So, with that said, I'm with the players on this. If it's not going to be any fans and it's not going to be able to bring, if the players are not going to be able to feed off the energy in that arena as far as entertaining the fans, I don't see the point. Maybe you got something different to open my eyes, but right now I don't understand it.
Yeah, my personal position on All-Star games, Pro Bowls, and all that stuff. I'm not a big, I think not a big fan of any of them. I don't. The All-Star game is always like one of these 185 to 180 contests. It's not really a basketball game. It's just a show. It's a performance. There's no like resistance. Anybody's defending anybody until like the last few minutes. I enjoyed the 3-point shootout. That's probably my favorite event. But it does. I think the biggest point that before I came in here today and heard what you had to say on the fans piece, definitely probably the biggest factor for why the biggest reason why I think you shouldn't do it. If the game is truly for the fans and all the events are for the fans and you get to see the best players up close and it's all of that, I think that's your best argument. But on the flip side, you got to think about this. We're approaching the year anniversary of Rudy Gobert touching all the microphones and just life as we know it getting shut down. And I think at some point we have to move forward and just progress and understand that how long are you willing to just put all these different aspects of life on hold just because there's a pandemic, a sickness, or all the rest of it. I get all that. I get it. I get a lot of people have died. I'm not trying to make light of any of that. I wouldn't do that. But at some point, and as we discussed before, the cost of doing all that, whether it's the economic cost, whether it's the mental health cost, you can go through all you can follow the science all you want to, but at some point, you got to follow the science, be damned. Let's follow some actual leaders who can take into account the science, but all the other factors of life and weigh them all and say, okay, this is the best decision we can make. And as far as things, I'm just ready to let's move forward. We got vaccines in the works. People are getting vaccinated. People are still mitigating as best they can, as far as I know. It's definitely, I guess another issue I have is as you point out, the NBA and the Players Association are getting together and saying, all right, this is what we're going to do. So why is it, as those negotiations are being finalized, that now you have guys coming out the woodwork and crying about it? I just find that very curious. Chris Paul is the NBA Players Association, and as I've been told, is very good friends with LeBron James.
Right.
So why is it that LeBron James has to come out to the media and say, oh, I don't have the energy or the excitement for the All-Star game? Why couldn't you get Chris Paul on the phone and say, hey man, is there any way we can explore, have we talked about the reasoning why we shouldn't do this? There ain't gonna be no fans there. We still got the pandemic. We got all these other things. What if we didn't do it? If it is all about money and all that, then it's gonna be a logistical pain to get all these guys from different areas to one central location, do your quarantines and all this. And then they're not, as far as I know, they're not extending the All-Star break because the non-All-Stars, they always get the most time off. So in some semblance, it's an honor to be an All-Star, but you don't get as much as a break as the other guys do. So I get that part of it, but I just, the lack of communication. I'm sure you've heard it throughout your years of service and blah blah blah. It could be a whole lot better. This is the same kind of thing. Why is the Players Association not communicating with the players? And these are the uber talented guys. Now you have Kawhi, now you have James Harden and Giannis. They're top 10 players in their own right. Now they're on board with LeBron and saying, hey, we don't think we should have an All-Star. Those are your All-Stars that would be participating. So to me, it's just really curious on why the Players Association moves forward. Do the players not get, are they not included on the discussions or anything? It's just a really curious thing. And my last thing is like I gotta get at Giannis in this regard, because I understand the fact that even though that LeBron remains the face of the NBA, but this I gotta get to this quote because it bothers me to an extent. Giannis says, I think every player was looking for those 5 days, 7 days, whatever the days are. But we got to follow the big dog, talking about LeBron James. The big dog says he has zero excitement, zero energy for the All-Star game, and I'm the same way. I really right now don't care about the All-Star game. Giannis, what is this? United States Congress? To where like you have to just fall into the majority leader and all the rest of it? Like Giannis is the back-to-back MVP. Giannis has to fall in line too. You can't have your own opinion on this.
Okay, I get the own opinion, but Giannis ain't LeBron. Like, let's make something clear here, folks. Let's make something clear. In the NBA, in an NBA-driven league, yes, somebody is the top dog. We seen it with Jordan. We seen it with Kobe. We just seen it with somebody's the top dog. That's LeBron. I'm not mad at Giannis for saying, listen, at the end of the day, because I guarantee you this, LeBron is in more conversations than Giannis. LeBron know more than what Giannis know. So Giannis is like, hell, I don't want to play. So the biggest scapegoat thing I can do is say, yeah, I'm agreeing with LeBron because I really don't want to play this shit either. So
that's fine. If in the end he has the same position, that's fine. But you don't have to like that. Oh, we've got my biggest problem with that quote is we've got to follow LeBron. No, you don't. Have an opinion. You're the back-to-back MVP, and to me, you're the next best thing. Whenever LeBron hangs it up, Giannis to me is the next. He has the best opportunity to take on the face of the league, and that's what I'm talking about.
Over Durant?
I think over Durant. But I think in the end, like I don't much care. I do find it curious that De'Aaron Fox is like calling the All-Star game stupid when we just pulled the voting. Klay Thompson is 10th among voting. We don't know where De'Aaron Fox has less votes than Klay Thompson. So go ahead and speak your piece. I'm all for it, but you're not in the conversation, De'Aaron Fox. That's
who should have said what Giannis said. We just gonna roll with the big dog. He should have said that.
But I think this is a fascinating discussion. I think there's a lot of merit to both sides. The biggest problem I have in the end is the players and the Players Association. There's just I don't understand the disconnect. I don't understand why Chris Paul if I'm Chris Paul, it makes me wonder like why am I even bothering with this? Because now Chris Paul has to come out and address because all the stars have came out and said that they don't. A lot of them said they don't want to play, and now Chris Paul is like, man, I'm sure Chris Paul has done a lot of work to like negotiate with the league and like that. This is the revenue split, and this is how this is how we're going to quarantine. This is how this is going to be the sequence of events. All this planning that has already taken place, and now after the fact, it's like I didn't done all this work, and now people ain't satisfied. There's a communication disconnect between the players and the Players Association. I think moving forward, because the NBA I don't think the NBA gets in this position where they look kind of stupid. They look a little stupid right now. They have a little egg on their face because of this. And I think that's the biggest All-Star game or no All-Star game. They got to get that corrected moving forward.